live? It says, okay, we're live. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, we're so excited that you're here. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our Healthy Living Firesider event. If you're watching on Facebook or if you're here with us on Zoom, I know we have a couple people here, comment below or comment in the Zoom box, just let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. We will be watching, and if you have any questions or anything like that, you can definitely put them in the comments, Zoom, wherever you're watching from. We're going to be watching both Facebook too, and so if you have questions, we can answer those at the end. If you guys could just stay muted for the most part until the end, that would be great. So for those of us that put these events together, we are a part of a Healthy Living Revolution community. We are focused on helping people take their health back, focusing on lifestyle and nutrition habits that promote good health. My name is Jessie Lepicki. I'm a nutrition coach and I'm a plant-based athlete. And I have been a part of this community now for going on 3 years. And what that journey looked like for me, I was struggling in my 20s. I was overweight. I had very painful and severe acne. I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, if you're familiar with it. I learned about, how I could improve my health with a more whole food, plant-based diet. And then, I started to make those changes and I saw so many incredible improvements, you guys. I lost weight, my skin cleared up, and I actually found out years later that I was able to reverse my PCOS. So needless to say, I was a true believer when it came to the power of plants, and this is kind of how we all came to this place here. But, then, I met my husband years later, became an OCR athlete, obstacle course racing athlete. And, we thought we were healthy, we super healthy. We were counting calories, we were doing portion controlling and with our meals, and, exercising was our lifestyle, right? We thought we were healthy. But, we did notice that we were always getting sick. We had a lot of inflammation, apparently. My husband would get, sinus infections all the time. And I remember the winter of 2018, I had 4 colds back to back to back. You guys, I'll never forget it. And I just couldn't shake it. We really thought we were healthy. Like I said, we were exercising, eating really well, but obviously there was something missing for us. We were just really frustrated and felt lost, so we were looking for ways to better our health. The beautiful part about when you meet people in your life that share things with you, that's really what happened to us. At the time when we needed it most, I learned about an amazing way to flood our bodies with some incredible nutrition. And that allowed me to jet set us into, a whole different form of functioning. To be honest with you, we have just experienced so much less sickness and inflammation. It's like night and day in our life right now. It really is. I mean, knock on wood, we have not had a single illness in our household since that winter of 2018. And we are so thankful. It's really been just an amazing arena to live and kind of, live a life of being sick and unwell to having a lot of hope and health, which is fantastic, which, we've been able to learn so much from this community along this journey, and just knowing what it's done for our family, how can I not pay it forward? So that's why we're here today. We are here, that's my mission and goal in life, is to pay health forward and to help other people learn how to do that as well. So Cassie, did you want to share your story?
Sure, I'll share it real quick. Hey everyone, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Cassie. I'm a runner, I'm a health coach, and I'm a mom of 3. When I was pregnant, actually with my second child, I started having some issues with swallowing, and it made life kind of difficult, but I ignored it, thought it was part of the pregnancy. And then I finally got checked out by the doctors, and that's when they diagnosed me with an autoimmune disease that there's actually no cure for. So, of course it stressed me out a little. I was worried not only what this would mean for, my future health, but also my family's health. How am I going to take care of them if I'm going through this? So my kids about a year ago, they weren't really eating so many, fruits and vegetables. I felt like I was fighting with them constantly just to, get them to eat them, and explain the importance of eating a balanced diet. So actually when Jessica and my mom, I think they shared some info with me on these plant concentrates and the complete shakes, which our family loves so much. Then I saw the research, the fact that I could get it, for my kids for free. So, of course I'm like, well, sure, sign me up. And then, it was something that we were looking for. We needed it. As a health coach, I know how important it is to be mindful of what we're eating and, putting in our bodies. But, if I can't get my kids to put something healthy in their bodies, what am I supposed to do? So I knew this would just be an easy button for us to get more plant nutrition in for them, but also hopefully help me, with some of my health issues and get on the road to healing and recovery. So, we made simple changes. We added whole food concentrates, and just by making these healthier choices, I've actually been able to get off the medicine I was on for about a year now. So that's really exciting. And then we also, we just started adopting a more plant-based lifestyle too. And the best part is too, I've joined this incredible community of people, who support each other and really want to help, see each other grow. And I love that I'm able to make a living doing something that I'm very passionate about. And it's also a blessing for our family too, because we have extra finances. I'm able to pay for an extra car for the house. I'm able to not stand in the grocery line wondering if I have enough money in my account. So it's definitely helped us bridge those financial gaps that we were dealing with prior to this. And, I don't have to miss my kids' activities anymore, their sports, any events that they have. I get to be there for all of that now. So thank you for letting me share my story with you.
Oh my gosh, Cassie, I love you. I love your story. Thank you so much for sharing. So I had learned a little bit about fire cider vinegar, you guys, last year. Another person in the community, she's actually a nurse, Miss Maureen. I'm going to call her out, Mo. She's in the group. She actually taught us, a group of us, how to make it. It's great for immune health. It's great for gut health. It's a fermentation, and we call it the cold and flu ninja tonic. And when you ferment bacteria into that, and that is what is good for your gut health. I actually think I have a video here that can actually give you a better explanation of what it means to flood your body with so much plant nutrition. It's a 2-minute video, so bear with me. I'm going to pull it up here for you. Oh, that's not what I wanted to share. Where did it go? Did I lose it? Here it is. Okay.
The fact that we actually grow a lot of these products very close to the factory, we can preserve the freshness. They can be harvested and processed within just a couple hours of when they come out of the field, as opposed to maybe some of the produce you might buy in the store where it has to go through trucking and shipping and a lot of different steps to be available to you. These processes that we do are done just within a few hours of when the product's harvested.
From the farm through our plant, the fresh product actually only takes about 6 hours. When the product arrives at our farm processing plant, the product is tumbled, washed, and cleaned. The clean product is then laid out over the processing belt and slowly moved through sub-zero air. When we're doing that, we're able to freeze the product and preserve all the freshness of the product just as if it was from the field.
The sooner you can lower the temperature and control the temperature, the more you can lock in the nutrients.
When Juice Plus is looking for nutritional quality, color is very important.
Most people associate a dark red cranberry as a sign of the ripeness of that fruit.
Freshness is very important. There's a very short amount of time from when they're harvested to when they're frozen, locking in the freshness and nutrients.
While we're producing the Juice Plus powders, they have very high standards for the purity of their powders, what can go into their powders. They also have tight controls over their supply lines. They know which farms it comes from, and they have a good control over that. Also, when the products are produced, they have certain steps throughout the process for safety and purity. My favorite part of working with Juice Plus is knowing that people are benefiting from what we're doing. We put a lot of work into how we grow our ingredients and how we process them so that they're safe and high quality and nutritious. It's neat to see the results of that by seeing the customers that use them and seeing their lives improved from some of the healthy ingredients and produce that we process.
There we go. Okay. Yay, that was a great video. I love that video. So you get to, I'm so glad you got to see, a little sneak peek of, really what getting all of that nutrition is about in your body, which is amazing. So we are going to jump into fire cider. We're going to start this fire cider party. We've got some amazing ingredients that we're going to talk with you about today, you guys. Garlic. So our head of garlic here is a whole bulb. And I just wanted to point out too, because, I didn't even know the difference between the bulb and the clove until I joined this community. So just in case anyone's curious, this is the whole bulb all together. And then the cloves are the little ones inside. And I just wanted to show you guys that. So we did split it up, the ingredients, because, we don't want to throw all the ingredients in the mason jar. We really want to teach you guys a little bit about the ingredients too, so that you know a little bit more about them. And so hopefully you have all the ingredients cut up already, because we want to respect your time. Okay, we are going to start with horseradish. All right. So you can get horseradish root if you're familiar with that. I couldn't find it. My husband tried, but I have seen it before. I know Cassie found it at her Whole Foods last time we made it at her house. I have today just the jar of horseradish, which is totally fine to use. That's what I'm going to be using today. So, and we have some ideas for the solids at the end here for you too. We're going to tell you about that. So, all right, horseradish. Oh my gosh, you guys, it blew my mind to hear about this. There's obviously a handful of ingredients in fire cider, but after researching horseradish, I was like, wow, I literally had no idea. So number one, it helps you combat cancer. I'm going to attempt to pronounce some of these names, but if I ruin them, don't be mad at me. But the glucolates in horseradish are what's found to activate those cancer-fighting enzymes, and this can prove to be beneficial to patients fighting all types of cancers. It's also got a lot of antioxidant. It's an antioxidant powerhouse, you guys. We were able to. So the horseradish root, it possesses several phytocompounds, types of phytonutrients that are extremely beneficial to your human health. Things like mutagenic, which means they can protect the body from mutagens that, otherwise inflict grave harm. It also increases DNA damage caused by oxidative stress, exactly what fruits and vegetables do as well. I love that. And it can also treat urinary tract infections, which I had no idea. The antibiotic properties can help urinary tract infections in some cases better than conventional treatment. So, and then number four, another reason why horseradish works really well in this aspect is called cinegrine, if I'm saying that right. It's basically another powerhouse nutrient that helps with respiratory disorders and sinus infections, things like that. It also enhances digestion, fights inflammation, eases respiratory ailments. It also has antimicrobial properties. This is a really big deal as I'm learning about, different types of mold in our gut, and that, they can really be trapped in your gut as well, which is really interesting to me. I didn't know. But here's a fun one. It can also replace aging spots, you guys. Even, this information has, there's information online that you can Google, and you can turn your horseradish into a paste to put on your face. You leave it on for 20 minutes and apparently it's unbelievable. So I'm planning to try that. And then number 7, it can boost your hair growth. It can treat melasma, which is a condition where brown patches appear on your face. And since horseradish has bleaching properties, it can really help treat discoloration, which is the primary symptom of melasma. So if you have horseradish, go ahead and add it to your mason jar. If you're using the root, I usually grate it up a little bit or just chop it into pieces. For this, I'm using a spoon. And I'm just going to put it right into my jar. And it says use a heaping spoon, a tablespoon. So I'm probably going to put 2 of these in here. I imagine the more you put in, obviously you can't go wrong with this, you guys. The more you put in, I'm sure it would be fine. It might be a little spicy, right? Okay, let's see. And it doesn't, yeah, here I have notes here, sorry. So it doesn't matter, how you cut it up if you have it grated. So you definitely want to make sure like this, we're going to talk about this too, but if you already have your ginger peeled and your garlic, things like that, your onion, you want to let those sit for about 10 minutes because we'll talk about that in a second. It'll actually allow some of the really great health benefits to come out and be activated. So okay, now the only thing that does matter, obviously you want to take off the peel from your onion, you peel off the hard layers, and you want to cut off all the hard layers of your ginger, in case you were wondering. So anything else though, peel and all, it goes in, seeds and all from the lemon, oranges, all of it. So, okay, yeah. And I think Cassie, do you have one that you wanted to talk about, oranges?
Yeah, I think the next thing we're going to talk about is oranges. So if you have your oranges cut up, you can actually go ahead and put them in your mason jars. Oranges are really great with helping to protect your eyes, improving your vision, also like macular degeneration and cataracts, blindness due to vision deterioration. So it's good for that. Enhances sexual performance, which I didn't know. And it's a mild aphrodisiac properties. Prevents constipation due to its high water content, and it also has a high fiber content as well. So you're bolstering the immune system. It helps reduce oxidative stress, which we all know causes aging, and it also what does it do? It also helps the immune system, and because it has vitamin C in it as well. So you're also we're putting in the peel of the orange, which has a lot of great properties. I know not many people really eat the peel of the orange. I mean, I don't know about you. Do you, Jess?
I don't know.
I know it's in the buzz, right? All right. So it also helps with your mood. It also, it can reduce depression, calm your anxiety through the flavonoids, and it can improve your serotonin synthesis. It's used for stress to, it helps reduce the cortisol levels, which I didn't know about that either. It can help prevent cancer cells, from growing. It helps with digestion. Protects your heart, healthy hair, healthy heart, and even helps with asthma. So we'll leave these links on here for you guys later. We'll give you, any information that you're going to need. But I think that's all I have for orange for now. Jess, do you want to share about lemons?
Absolutely. So if you have your lemon, I went ahead and put mine in right in there, and you can, you don't have to really squeeze anything. I just chop mine up. I did. Oh, by the way, this is what I did a fire cider right before the event tonight, just to show you guys what it looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have one from 3 to 4 weeks ago that we can try together, but.
Do we peel our lemon? Do we peel our lemon or no?
No, you leave the skin on. Yes. Because just like the orange, the lemon has some great properties in the peel as well. And all of it will just ferment. Yeah, it'll be good. And seeds and all. Yeah. Throw it all in. Okay, so lemon is high in vitamin C, fiber, and it has various beneficial plant compounds. It supports heart health. And there you go, heart health again, right, Cass? 51% of the recommended daily intake is in the lemon, actually. That helps prevent heart issues and strokes. The plant compounds are, that are found in lemons, mainly hesperida and diosmin, if I'm saying that right, have also been found to lower cholesterol. It helps control weight, helps prevent kidney stones by increasing the urine production and increasing urine pH. So literally just half a cup, 4 ounces per day of lemon juice can provide enough citric acid to help you prevent kidney stones from forming in people who have already had them. So I had no idea. That was super interesting to me because I know several people that have kidney stones. So it helps protect against anemia because lemon contains some iron, but they primarily prevent anemia by improving your absorption of iron from plant foods. So I don't know if anybody knew that, but we really should be putting lemon juice on all of our salads, right? But it helps to reduce cancer risk, helps to improve digestion. So yeah, go ahead and throw that right into your mason jar. Like I said, seeds and all, there's healthy oils as well in the seeds too. So, and then Cassie, you want to share?
All right, so the next thing we're going to add is ginger. And ginger actually contains gingerol. I've never heard that before, but so you just want to grab your ginger, cut it up. You could do little pieces like this. I don't know if you can see that. or you can grate it if you want. You're just using the entire root. If you want less or more, it's completely up to you. It doesn't matter. But it actually contains powerful medicinal properties. It aids in digestion. It helps with nausea. I remember when we were on our honeymoon, when we were doing this one drive, someone gave us like ginger candy or something that had ginger in it that was supposed to help with that. It helps with morning sickness.
Oh, Cassie, I think you muted yourself. I don't know what happened.
I must have pressed on it and not realized.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, did you guys hear the part about it helps with morning sickness and all that, or no?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Say it again. I think we missed it.
Okay. No, so ginger aids with digestion. It reduces nausea, helps with morning sickness. It also, has powerful anti-inflammatory properties, antioxidant effects. It helps reduce body mass index, which is pretty awesome. It helps with your blood insulin levels, which helps with type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. And now there's actually a warning with ginger, although it's considered safe to take it with your doctor before consuming large amounts or if you're pregnant. So imagine this because, the properties really help you relax and promote contractions. So you'd want to research more if you are pregnant, just to be careful. And I think, Jessica, do you have garlic you wanted to talk about? Some of the benefits of that?
Oh my gosh, garlic. Everybody knows how healthy garlic is. We know this already. It's no surprise. So like I was saying, you're going to put the entire bulb in, you guys. So I've already done mine. I've chopped mine up. Mine looks like this. It's not really grated. It's just, a little bit bigger than grated, I guess. So you still want to chop it up. I've heard some people put the whole clove in and just smash the clove. That's okay too if you want to do that. Just know if you're not chopping it, you're not going to get some of those health properties to activate, which I'm going to tell you about here in a second. So it's actually a property called allicin that activates. It's actually a relative of the onion. So same with onions. If we chop our onion, if we chop our garlic and leave it, we let it sit for 10 minutes first, that is a really a great way to add more health benefits to your diet because you're allowing something called allicin to activate. Okay. Let's see, our health benefits. Oh my gosh, there's so many. So like I said, it's a part of the onion family. It's massively nutrient dense, you guys, as far as, vitamins and minerals. It has magnesium, vitamin B6, vitamin C, selenium. It also has sulfur compounds, which is why it has so many great benefits. And it has fiber. So let's see. And then it has calcium, we have copper, potassium, phosphorus, iron, vitamin B1. It can reduce sickness and help with colds and flus. Hence, I guess that's why we're using it for our fire cider. And active commands can help reduce blood pressure. Blood pressure improves cholesterol levels, which lowers the risk of heart disease, as we know. It also contains different antioxidants that I, didn't even know about, but it can actually help prevent Alzheimer's and dementia, you guys. Also getting garlic can help you detox heavy metals in the body, cha-ching, which, we all know, fruits and vegetables do that as well. So, and it can also improve your bone health. So pretty cool, right? So yeah, go ahead and throw that right in. And then, yeah, Cassie, what do you have?
Oh, I'm going to add onions. I think I forgot to chop my onions up, but I have them. It could be a red or a white onion. So it can be red or white. They both have health properties. Hopefully you have it cut up already. If you don't worry, you can cut it up now. But you actually want to wait about 10 minutes to allow, it's called allicins, to activate. So what we do is we just cut it into chunks and then you add the entire onion. Onions are packed with nutrients. So, there's vitamin C, vitamin B, and potassium in all onions. They have a big impact on heart health because they actually help with your blood sugar and blood pressure, which I didn't know. They're loaded with antioxidants, and they also have cancer-fighting compounds. So it may improve your bone density as well. It has antibacterial properties, and I didn't even realize that it can also boost your digestive health as well, which is a good thing. And then I think the next ingredient is apple cider vinegar. So do you have information on that, Jess?
I do. So, okay, you want to make sure your apple cider vinegar has the mother. That is really important because that is that's the good bacteria that we want in our gut. That's going to help it ferment better. And it's going to be so much better for you. So I love to use Bragg's. It's my favorite. But you can, like Cassie, I think the one she has in her hand, I have that in my house as well. It also has the mother, including mother. Good job. Let's see. You want to make sure, okay. Oh, and you guys, oh my gosh, Google or go to DuckDuckGo, whatever you use, go Google apple cider vinegar and see what comes up for the health benefits of it, you guys. Oh my gosh. If you go onto Google, you know how you have like the different types of searches. If you just go and, click images and just scroll through the images, it's incredible what you'll find. The apple cider vinegar, it's just amazing. It kills harmful bacteria. Let's see. It's what's his name? Oh gosh, I wrote it wrong. Hippocrates, the father of all medicine. He used to use vinegar to clean his wounds more than 2,000 years ago, you guys. How cool is that? So who needs hydrogen peroxide, right? So I thought that was really cool. It can also help lower blood sugar levels and manage diabetes. It aids in weight loss, improves heart health in us and animals, actually. So what we do for our health a lot of times is really good for our animals as well. I actually give my dogs one fruit, veggie, and omega every single day. So let's see. And it's great for blood pressure medication or heart meds, insulin, things like that. It's really great for lowering your blood pressure, your blood sugar. It's great for helping lower your cholesterol because, a lot of these things that we're talking about today. A lot of these things we keep hearing that come up a lot is, it helps to lower your cholesterol. But I love that I got this from my friend Mo, who's a nurse, which I wanted to throw this in here. I'm getting this from you, Mo. I want you guys to, to keep an eye on things, as you're doing this, if you're drinking the fire cider every day or as you're, consistently adding these things, because you're going to start putting these things into your body and it will naturally help those things. So you want to keep an eye if you're on blood pressure medication, if you're on, blood thinner, whatever, insulin resistant, whatever kind of medication, just keep an eye on things like that in your body because it starts to help lower those things naturally. So you might be able to cut back on your medication, you know what I mean? So, keep in touch with your doctor, if things start to lower naturally and things, things like that, like that's a great thing. You want that, but you want to keep in touch with him or her, your doctor, to let them know, what you're doing, because it's all natural. It doesn't interact with the medication, but it interacts with the effects of the medication, right? Because this, right, the fire cider, that is the medicine, right? That's the natural medicine, right? And natural effects and, the medication, we have natural effects, right, from fire cider, and then you have effects from a pharmaceutical effect. Does that make sense? So I would just, pay attention to that. And that's really it. So it's great. Oh, and just pour that right in. Well, you can wait to the end. I honestly wait to the end to pour it in. So I put everything in, but you can pour it in first. We only have a couple things left. So actually go ahead. Yeah. Pour it in.
Pour it in, you said?
Yeah.
All right.
That's clear. You put the onion in, right?
Yeah. The onion you put in too.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. You're ready to pour it then. Yeah. Sorry about that. Go for it.
And then the next ingredient I think is turmeric. So I have actually have this turmeric powder. I don't know if you can see that. But you want to add a heaping teaspoon of the turmeric. And you can add more if you like. It has a lot of benefits too. But it's also anti-inflammatory. It can even increase the antioxidant capacity of your body. It has curcumin in it, which is the active ingredient in the turmeric. So it should actually lower the risk for heart disease and can even prevent cancer. It's also good in treating Alzheimer's disease. Arthritis patients respond very well to curcumin in some studies, and it actually helps with fighting depression. It can delay and fight aging, and fight age-related chronic disease as well.
I love it. And then there's a special note too. I can't even say it.
Curcumin.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry. Curcumin is actually poorly absorbed into the bloodstream. So just using turmeric alone isn't really going to be very potent in the body. I'm sure a lot of people realize this, but what happens is when you add black pepper, which is it actually contains pepperine. It's a natural substance. It enhances the absorption of that curcumin. You can't say it. It actually enhances the curcumin by 2,000%, you guys. You did not hear me wrong. That's 2000. What it does, it helps to slow down that detoxing of the liver, to keep the curcumin inside the body longer, to help the good effects happen. So you're basically slowing down your detox a little bit so the good things can help your body. I was so fascinated to learn about that, but you know, you can just add, I have my pepper here, 1 to 2 teaspoons of black pepper, and that's all you need really. And then I'm gonna add that. So then we have honey. So you guys, fun fact about honey, I don't know if you guys knew this, but once inside the beehive, the bees repeatedly consume and regurgitate the nectar. Sounds gross, right? But it's so good for you. So I had no idea. If you have high quality honey, it's very rich in antioxidants. It's less bad for you than sugar for diabetics. It can help lower blood pressure, also helps improve cholesterol, the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. It can lower triglycerides. It helps with heart disease, insulin resistance, i.e. type 2 diabetes. And for example, I love this, there was a study that was done comparing honey to sugar, and it found that 11 to 19% honey lowered it 11 to 19% more the triglyceride levels than the sugar did. So I thought that was pretty cool. And also you can add things like, so I like spicy things, and I think my friend Janet does too. But I'm adding a jalapeno to mine. So if you want to add a little spice to it, you can do that. I also have cayenne pepper that I'm adding to mine. You can add what is that thing called? Rosemary. You can do echinacea root. Don't ask me where to find it. I've never seen it, but it sounds great. You can literally add anything, you guys. You can't mess this up. So, you know, on a side note, you know, this is fermenting, and you can literally ferment anything. There's all kinds of things out there. You can Google it. You can add and subtract anything from the fire cider. If you're like, oh, I don't like this. You may not like how it tastes, but you can literally add and subtract anything. Like I said, you can go to YouTube. You can look up just about anything. There's all kinds of, you know, how-tos on different fermenting options. So this is just the typical, you know, fire cider recipe that we use. So all right, so once you have everything in there, you would pour, okay, so you're gonna take your apple cider vinegar and you just pour it right over everything. We've already done that, I'm sure, if you were listening well. I wasn't.
Are we making sure that it covers the top? Okay.
Yeah. I would make sure it covers the top, and then you'll also find, so you're gonna let it sit for 3 to 4 weeks, you guys, and you wanna try to find well, if you think you're going to remember it, put it in a cabinet. So I put it in a dark place because, you know, fermentation likes to have dark areas. So put it in a cabinet if you think you'll remember it. If you don't think you'll remember it, keep it on your counter and just put a towel around it like that. And that's kind of what you would do, and just keep it on your counter. So where am I? Lose my notes here. Okay. So you're going to want to remember as well, that's why you don't want to forget it in your cabinet. You want to try to burp it every day or every other day because it is fermenting. Even if you forget it for like 3 or 4 days, I'm sure it's not going to explode or anything. But basically, they call it burping. So you just want to open it just loosely a little bit and let it breathe a little and let a little bit of the air, because it's going to be like carbonated. It'd be like a soda almost. It's a tonic. And then you want to shake it around every day if you can, every other day. If you remember, it's not a big deal. Okay. And then, so after 3 to 4 weeks, once it's sat here, Oh my gosh, it smells so good. By the way, you guys, my mouth salivates over it. But basically you will strain it. Unfortunately I didn't do one 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm out. I bought one from the store, and just so you guys know, you can buy these from the store, but they're way more expensive. I think this little bitty bottle, I think it cost us like 20 or 30 bucks. So making fire cider from our house, saving so much money. I know Janet knows about this. We're printing money with our tower gardens. So that's just what it looks like there if you guys wanted to see that. But once it's done, after 3 to 4 weeks, you're basically going to strain the solids out and you're going to have your liquid left, right? So once you have your liquid, and you can save your solids too. I'm going to tell you what to do with those too. You have options. You don't have to throw them out. We can use everything, right? So you, depending on how sweet you like things, you can add 2 tablespoons to a 1/4 cup of honey, just to add some flavor, some sweetness to it. And let's see what else. I usually put it right back in the jar. Like I keep mine in my mason jar and I put it right back in there, and then I'll just add the honey to it. It does not need to be refrigerated. Like I said, you're going to put it in either in your cabinet or on your counter. You're not refrigerating it, because if you refrigerate it, obviously you're going to kill the bacteria. It's not going to grow in that environment. And these make really great Christmas gifts as well, you guys, to give, immune health. Like who wouldn't want that, right? Okay, so I went over 3 to 4 weeks. Let's see. So you have your liquid in your jar, your solids. And like I said, don't throw those away. You can use it for so much. So I've heard people make stir fries with them. Oh my God, they're so good. As from what I've heard, I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to have to do that. I have a friend that actually dehydrates her solids in a dehydrator, and then she grinds them down in her Vitamix into like a salt. So, and then she uses it for like seasoning with her dishes. And apparently she's like addicted to it. Apparently it's amazing. So I kind of want to try that. I have another friend that puts just the whole solids, not drying them. She just puts it right into her Vitamix and uses it for like cooking for flavor and things like that. So you can really do anything with it. And let's see. So, and yeah, like the tastes of everything in this jar, like if you can imagine, like all of the things in here, it's infusing together. So I can imagine it would taste really good to eat it afterwards too. So, okay, 3 to 4 weeks. And then, so this is funny. I have a funny story for you guys too. My mouth salivates whenever I open the jar, like even if I'm burping it. When I first made this the first time, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I would take a sip every day, and I didn't wait for 3 to 4 weeks. I would just take a sip each day and then replace the apple cider vinegar. And my friend, Nurse Mo, she would laugh at me, but she, you want to wait the 3 to 4 weeks, but it doesn't, you don't have to. I mean, obviously it's better, you're going to get more benefit out of it. But like I said, like it just goes to show you, you can't mess this up. You really can't. Like I mess up everything, and I didn't mess this up. So, and then, when you do taste it, it might be like, there might be a bite there. It's, it's a tonic. It might be spicy. Mine's spicy, but it's one thing to remember. You want to remember a bite is good. If you have a bite, that means you have a lot of good health properties. So, the opposite goes for sugar. Sugar feeds bacteria and viruses and things like that. So, the sweeter something is, the more it might contribute to chronic health issues. So just keep that in mind. So the more bitter it is, the better it is for you, I'm sure. So, and then one other question that I had last time that I thought it would be good to cover, someone asked, if they didn't have enough apple cider vinegar to cover the whole thing, if they could just dilute it and add water. And I wouldn't recommend that. I would just go and, get more apple cider vinegar, because, you don't want to dilute it. You won't have the best fermentation process that way. So, okay. So just to recap before we finish and answer some questions here, I haven't looked yet. Is anyone else looking on Facebook? But yes, to recap, everyone, okay. So we are making fire cider recipe if you're just tuning in, or in the Facebook group. We have the recording. So if you got, we'll have the recording today. We'll have all the links for you guys to post below, or just reach out to the person that invited you and we can share these with you. And let's see. and you can save them, because you'll probably want to rewatch this in case and let me know, if you guys have any questions, if I missed something. But you'll probably want to keep making this again and again and again. You'll probably want to have a batch, all winter long and maybe all year long. So, but yay, that is our fire cider. Does anybody on Zoom have any questions? How are you doing, Janet, Sammy?
I found my burping top.
Woohoo! I have one of those. I should use that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because that way it releases but won't let anything in.
Yes, I love it. Good idea. I need to do that.
When you were talking about the honey, I grew up with honey, but it was processed, it was heated, it was not, but we got turned on to raw honey probably 10 years ago. And my husband has allergies, and we were told if you buy local honey, it has to be local because of things in your area.
Mm-hmm.
And for a couple of years, he would take a teaspoon every day, and it made a difference. It made a difference.
Wow. With his allergies and things?
Yeah, like it kind of kept everything, in check instead of having to take a lot of drugs.
Oh, yay. I love hearing that.
And so we always buy raw honey.
I love that. Let's see. We have, hey, Lydia. Lydia's watching.
When COVID started, I got a little nervous and I bought like
I'm coming to Janet's house.
It's the only sweetener. Well, no, that and agave, I think, has an indefinite, regular cane sugar, but it's amazing because it lasts forever. It may get crystallized and you just, put a little warm water, but I love it.
I didn't know that about the crystallization because I have one that's crystallizing and I'm like, what do I do with it? And I thought maybe if I put it in the microwave, but
no.
Water.
That's too much heat because then it's heated. Once it reaches a certain temperature, it's not considered raw anymore.
Got it.
You just put it in I have lots of jars because once it gets where it's thick on the bottom, my husband's like, can you pour some more in? Because I can't get it out. So I'll take this and I'll just put tap warm water, just sit it in there, and then it comes back to life. And
Janet, you are like the homemaker. I'm coming to your house during the
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm trying to over the years. And it's interesting that you sent this invite, and I never knew about this. My son and his girlfriend, they were buying those tonic shots from like Whole Foods for like $4. Mm-hmm. The immunity ones.
Yep.
And she's creative, and she's like, you know what? It's ridiculous. So she puts turmeric, ginger, black pepper, and some other things in the Vitamix every morning with a little water, and they just enough, and they have their own shots. And they said, you know what? It's just so much cheaper. And, I got them on the organic kick. Like, when they first got together, she was like, I'd gift them something. She's like, Mama, it's organic, right? I said, yes, it is.
I love it. I do that to my husband now. If he goes to the store, get half organic.
It's just the chemicals and stuff. I told him about the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 50, so certain things, but it's, I don't want to consume all that stuff, growing up, we didn't even know I don't even know if the word organic was around, maybe in California, but not New Jersey.
Yeah.
But you do every little bit you can.
I love it. That's
so I got them buying all organic, and they were like, but Mama, the seasonings are so much. I said, this is what you do. You have a grocer right up the street that sells organic, Mom's Supermarket. Mm-hmm. All their seasons are organic, and you buy them in bulk.
Yep.
So you spend, if you've already spent $6 for, McCormick or whatever organic, when it runs out, you're paying like $1.50 to fill it up. Like,
it's so true. I can't believe
find ways.
I can't believe this is $20 or $30. It's just a little bit, and we're making like massive jars of it.
I know. I'm excited.
It makes sense. I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Let me see if we have questions in here. Okay, Lydia said hi. Hi, Jen. Oh, Jen was watching. Hi, Sarah and Kristen. Let's see. Compost for your garden. That's the secret for long shelf life honey. Okay. I love it. All right. Well, let me just stop going live here.